Last week, before the recording of this very video, I was privileged to sit with one of a very huge accountant here in the city of Abuja, and we got talking, talking about real estate, talking about the banking sector, and everything that has to do with financing here in Nigeria. And we dabbled into the conversation of how Nigerian luxury properties are overpriced. And we got talking for a couple of minutes. I had to lay emphasis of why that is. And in this said video, I'll be trying to explain why the Nigerian real estate market, or the Nigerian luxury market, as people call it, is overpriced, based on some of my research, based on playing actively in this sector every single day, based on past experiences of selling properties, and based on my involvement with the real estate sector here in Nigeria, not just in Nigeria, but specifically in the city of Abuja. So therefore, throughout the entire course of this said video, giving you reasons of why the Nigerian real estate luxury market is overpriced according to some of our potential buyers and potential clients. My name is Alifune David, and I'm a real estate broker here in the city of Abuja who is committed to bringing you the absolute best of real estate, educating you, and also bringing you the most affordable properties for sale in this very city. Do ensure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, drop a comment. Now, first off, I would want to say that the Nigerian developers are now beginning to evolve to getting finishing goods used for those said houses from abroad. And we all know that even if the goods they are buying is cheap over there, exporting or importing those said materials back to Nigeria is what is adding value to those said equipment they're importing from overseas back to Nigeria. In fact, very recently, I saw that for somebody to clear some of his goods off the Nigerian Customs Service, he paid over ×3 of what he usually pays before now for a simple building material. Now, all these are factored in on why these said houses are overpriced, as Nigerians will call it. But I don't understand the fact that, okay, we feel like some of these developers are ripping us off, which in actual fact, some of them, yes, they are ripping Nigerians off their hard-earned money. But the simple conversation of today is that we should still try to consider that some of these developers, they want to provide you with quality over quantity, provide you with luxury, as that said house would be called, and give you the best finishing materials. Therefore, the only result or the only conclusion of what they will do is to buy finishing materials and finishing projects for that said house from outside of the country, making the cost of these properties to increase. And this is one factor of why we feel like the Nigerian luxury real estate market is overpriced. The second reason of why the luxury real estate market in Nigeria is overpriced is because of the reality of constructing materials in Nigeria. And as a broker who has sold properties to not the 1% of the 1%, but to high income earners, both in the diaspora and in Nigeria, I can tell you that even little off properties we are building, the amount of inflation, the amount of rising cost of building materials affects how we deliver these properties to our clients. Now, before I relocated from Benin to the city of Abuja, I have had several instances where some of my clients, they would pay their infrastructural development fee and everything that has to do with additional fees of that said property. And after a year or two of them paying that said money, the developers would have to call them back to now add little stipends to what has been paid before now. Why? Because of the reality of the building materials in Nigeria. Now, you imagine starting a house when cement is selling for 3,000, 3,500 naira, and you have gotten to a decent level. But the next day you come and you hear that one bag of cement is currently selling for 11,000 naira, and the money you are using to build that said house has gotten to the least amount. What will you now do in that said case? Now, usually, like I said earlier, most of the developers, they would want to go back and call all the clients and say, okay, this and this and this is what is happening in this said area, and this and this and this is what you can help us to do in making sure that this is delivered to you, one, in due time, and two, in the best quality as we can provide to you as an investor. Now, to avoid some of these said instances, what developers now do is right now they now try to factor in inflation in most of these said properties they sell out, and this is one of the best ways to approach problems like this. Third reason why we feel like luxury real estate markets in Nigeria are overpriced is because of the instability of the Nigerian naira. Now, one thing that most of the developers they are trying to avoid is trying to avoid their purchasing power here in Nigeria. Now, one thing I would want to tell you is that if, for example, I have ₦1 million in my bank account as at today, and in the next 6 months, that same ₦1 million, I've not touched that ₦1 million, you know that I've lost most of my purchasing power when it comes to buying goods from the market, because that ₦1 million I have today will not be able to buy some of the things I can buy today by that same next 6 months. And now most of these developers, what they are trying to avoid is this particular problem. If they have to price that said house or value that said house in the Nigerian naira, in the next 6 months when the house is sold, in the next 2 months when the house is sold, it is impossible for them to now use that said money in trying to build another property in terms of the purchasing power, in terms of buying the goods used in finishing the houses, in terms of buying the goods used in erecting that said building. So what do they now fall back on? They have to now price that house in the dollar where the currency is stable, and they know that even after times and times and times again, if it wants to go down, it does not go past 1% or something around that said value, right? So this is another reason why we feel like the luxury real estate market in Nigeria is overpriced, and I do understand the reasons of all the complaints on the internet. Now, the next thing as a bonus I would want to add is that they are not telling you as an investor to bring dollars to buy that said property. The only thing they are doing is valuing that said house in the US dollar. And like I stated earlier, the only reason why they are valuing that said property in the US dollar is because they are trying to avoid the circumstances where the Nigerian naira is fluctuating in value and they have to now lose purchasing power as it comes to owning houses or as it comes to erecting buildings in various of these locations inside Nigeria. I hope this video has been insightful for you so far as an investor, and I hope in your next conversation you're having about the overpriced real estate market in Nigeria, you tell this to somebody to be educated on why luxury properties and luxury real estate markets here in Nigeria is overpriced. Once again, my name is David, and I'm a real estate broker with Fortune Limited, a fast developing real estate company here in the city of Abuja, who is committed to bringing you the absolute best of real estate, educating you, and also bringing you the most affordable properties for sale in this very city. See you in our next video session. Until then, stay safe.